Good afternoon, Cleveland and Columbus sports fans. I'm Jenn B, and you're listening to the Show of the Land on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Today we are going to talk about the Cleveland Cavaliers and what happened at the NBA trade deadline. We are also going to talk about how the Cavs were the first NBA team to 40 wins. We will talk about some awards and our All-Stars. Then we will get into the Cleveland Charge. We will then talk a little bit of baseball. The Columbus Clippers had their schedule released this past week. We'll then get into some hockey with the Blue Jackets, the Monsters, and the Ohio State Buckeyes. We will wrap things up with some volleyball with the Columbus Fury. Unfortunately, we have some Browns news once again. We have a little bit of Ohio State football news. We will talk about some major changes for the Columbus Crew as we head into the season. And we will finish things out with the Cleveland Crunch. So stay right here with the Show of the Land with Jenn B on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports, and we will get into all of that right after these messages from our sponsors.
IE Sports Radio fans, this show is brought to you by Planet Jerky Premium Brisket Beef Jerky. Planet Jerky is the official jerky of the 2022 California League champion Lake Elsinore Storm, single-A affiliate of the San Diego Padres. This all-brisket jerky has gluten-free options, contains no MSG, no sodium nitrate, is low in sugar, and high in protein. Go to their website at planetjerky.net and follow them on Instagram at Planet Jerky. Planet Jerky, the jerky that's on a whole other planet.
Rise and shine. It's 4 a.m. The stars are still out. The sun is beneath the horizon, but it's time to punch in and go to work. The comfort of your warm-ups turns into the grinding out of your reps as the clinking and the clinking of the plates create a symphony of euphoria. There's no other feeling like it. Earn it, burn it, and take what's yours. IE Sports Radio has proudly partnered with Vital Apparel, a brand that not only fits great, but also promotes and donates to mental health research. Use our code IESR to get 15% off their comfortable and inspiring gym wear and help them on their amazing journey to support mental health. Go hard, take part in your iron therapy, and be strong. Because when your mental health is as strong as you are, there's no telling how far you'll go.
Hey there, IE Sports Radio fans. Be sure to check out our sponsor, Seal the Deal Wax Seals by Cecilia B. You just finished your very own wedding or baby shower invitations and you're looking for that extra special touch? Maybe you just wrote a letter to a relative or a friend and you want to add to their smile when they receive it. Then seal the deal with Cecilia's handmade sealing wax stamps. for your invitations, letters, and gifts. You bring the deal, we'll bring the seal. You can find them on Instagram at sealthedeal_wax stamps and on Facebook, Seal the Deal Wax Seals.
For the last 10 years, IE Sports Radio has been bringing you amazing content ranging from interviewing legendary athletes, coaches, and other authorized media personnel to building tailor-made shows dedicated to all major sports cities around the country. Make sure to follow us at IE Sports Radio on X, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube to keep up with the latest in sports and with all of our shows. Also, make sure to check out our daily updated website at iesportsradio.com. At iesportsradio.com, you can see our daily show schedule and check out all of our show pages with personal bios to learn a little bit more about each of our awesome hosts. In addition to our show pages, you can catch the iSports Radio blog, Hall of Fame, Fans of the Month page, and our merchandise shop, including t-shirts, tank tops, caps, long sleeves, hoodies, and more. For now over a decade here at iSports Radio, we've continued to be by the fans, for the fans, and we thank you all for your support and for making iSports Radio your direct feed for all that is sports.
Welcome back to the Show of the Land with Jenn B on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Be sure to check out all of our wonderful sponsors: Planet Jerky Premium Brisket Beef Jerky. Place your orders at planetjerky.net today, and all orders over $50 get free shipping. Vital Apparel. You can place your orders and use promo code IESR to get 15% off their gym wear. Seal the Deal Wax Seals. Head on over to iesportsradio.com/seal the deal wax seals to check out those wonderful seals and to place your orders. They are the perfect finish to your gifts, letters, and invitations. And of course, IE Sports Radio. We wouldn't be here without IE Sports Radio. So be sure to hit that follow and subscribe button on IE Sports Radio on YouTube, X, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, all of them. And check out the website too. And our newest sponsor, Raw Nutrition Supplements. You can go to getrawnutrition.com and use promo code IESR to get 10% off your orders. You can follow me on X at Show of the Land IE, on IG, Threads, and Blue Sky at Believeland Girl, and on TikTok at Jen.Believeland. Let's talk about those Cleveland Cavaliers. First team in the NBA to 40 wins. So that is pretty awesome. I have a couple of awards and some all-star information to share to start things off. Donovan Mitchell was once again named Eastern Conference Player of the Week. So congratulations to Donovan Mitchell. And Darius Garland will be participating in the three-point contest during All-Star Weekend. Evan Mobley and Donovan Mitchell will be pairing up in the Skills Challenge during All-Star Weekend. So you might want to check that out. That will be on Saturday night. Now we head into the week in review. But before we get into the games, got a little trade to talk about. Right at the deadline, probably about 2 hours before the cutoff, the Cleveland Cavaliers traded Karis LeVert, George Niang, 3 second-round picks, and 2 pick swaps to the Atlanta Hawks for DeAndre Hunter. Hunter and Ty Jerome played together in college at Virginia, and they actually were roommates, and they won a national championship in 2019 while at Virginia. Hunter and Evan Mobley have spent time together in the offseason, so he is not unfamiliar with at least two of our players. And actually, Ty Jerome and DeAndre Hunter, according to Ty Jerome, are best friends. So Darius Garland said in an interview the other day that he has put Ty Jerome in charge of getting DeAndre Hunter acquainted with things here in Cleveland. So we are waiting for physicals to be completed and passed on Karis LeVert and George Niang. And then we will get a timeline as to when we may see DeAndre Hunter on the court with the Cleveland Cavaliers. Hopefully Monday, but we'll see. The Karis and George were in Atlanta as of yesterday, and DeAndre Hunter was in Cleveland undergoing his physical yesterday. So we might just maybe get to see DeAndre Hunter on Monday, but we'll see. It might not be till after the All-Star break, but we can hope, right? We can hope. So, Sunday, after the blockbuster trade on Saturday, that unless you were living under a rock, you are fully aware of, the Mavericks sent Luka to the LA Lakers. Sunday, the Cavs took on the Dallas Mavericks, and whoo-wee, I kind of feel sorry for those Dallas fans because yikes. With Isaac Okoro, Dean Wade, and Craig Porter Jr. all out, the Cavs beat the Mavericks 144 to 101. They set a franchise record for points in any quarter at 50, with 50 points in the first quarter. They set a franchise record for the most points in a half, with 91 points in the first half. They also set the franchise record for the biggest lead in franchise history at halftime, with a 45-point lead at halftime. They set a franchise record for threes in a single game at 26. Sam Merrill led the scoring with 27 points and had a career high 9 made threes. Evan Mobley and Darius Garland both recorded double-doubles. Evan Mobley had 22 points and 11 rebounds, and Darius Garland had 17 points and 10 assists. Whew, that game was crazy. After the game against the Warriors earlier in the season, where the Cavs were up 83 to like 41 or something like that at halftime against the Warriors, I didn't think we'd see that again anytime soon, but here we are. It happened again, and they beat all the records they set in that game, in this game against the Dallas Mavericks. Whew. Tuesday, the Cavs took on the Boston Celtics, and unfortunately, they fell short, losing 112 to 105. Isaac Okoro and Dean Wade were both out once again. Donovan Mitchell led with 31 points and also recorded a double-double with 10 rebounds. Jarrett Allen had a double-double as well with 17 points and 18 rebounds. The Cavs got out to a very slow start in this one, and unfortunately, they dug a hole that was too deep to get out of. They did make a push in the fourth quarter, and they got it within a couple of points, and they just couldn't overcome the deficit, sadly. But I think with this trade, and once we get Dean Wade back, hopefully after the All-Star break, and Isaac Okoro, I think if Dean Wade and or Isaac Okoro had been out there, it would have been a different game. But they were just Boston is too big for the guys that the Cavs had available in that game. And, Jarrett Allen and Evan Mobley can't play 48 minutes. So hopefully, with the addition of a DeAndre Hunter and getting Isaac Okoro and Dean Wade back from injury, the next time we face the Celtics, it'll be a little different outcome. Wednesday, the Cavs played the Detroit Pistons and they squeaked out the win 118 to 115 on a nearly half court shot by Darius Garland at the buzzer. Wow. It was gorgeous. It was absolutely gorgeous. Donovan Mitchell, Isaac Okoro, and Dean Wade were all out for that game. Donovan Mitchell sustained a shoulder contusion against Boston, which is what kept him out of the Pistons game, but he was not out for long. He did return for the next game. Like I said, Darius Garland had the buzzer beater to seal the win, and that's why he is the most clutch player in the NBA. Evan Mobley led with 30 points, and Jarrett Allen was ejected with less than a minute left for a flagrant 2 that was far less egregious than the push to him from Segun in the Rockets game a couple weeks ago. But, it is what it is. And I will say, I do like seeing the heart from these guys because that's something they've been missing throughout the last couple of seasons. There hasn't been a whole lot of pushback when teams are a little rough or mouthy. They kind of just keep to themselves and play their game, but it's nice to see them getting that little bit of edge, and that made the hit of losing George Niang a little easier to take, seeing Jarrett Allen stand up like that. Based on conversation that he had with Kenny Atkinson after the game, he had been slapped across the face and it hadn't been called, so the push was a little retaliation. So it is good to see these guys get a little meanness because they're the nicest guys out there and they don't really put that forward. So that was very, very encouraging sight. Friday last night, the Cavs took on the Washington Wizards, a whole new Washington Wizards team after numerous trades made by the Wizards before the trade deadline. And the Cavs won, though most of the game it didn't look like they were going to win. At one point, I looked at my husband and I said, I don't think the Cavs are even trying to win this game because I think it was the second quarter, they had Amoni Bates in and they weren't winning. And I was like, what is happening right now? But they got it together and pulled out the win, winning 134 to 124. And like I said, that final score does not show how close that game was. It was back and forth the majority of the game until about halfway through the fourth quarter. Then the Cavs put the pedal to the metal and put the Wizards away. Sam Merrill, Dean Wade, Isaac Okoro, and DeAndre Hunter were out for this game. As I said, DeAndre Hunter is first start with the Cavs is pending the physicals for him, Karis LeVert, and George Niang. So hopefully by Monday we'll know more on that and when we can expect to see DeAndre Hunter out on the court. Donovan Mitchell led with 33 points. Jarrett Allen had a double-double with 12 points and 12 rebounds. Very nice, 12 and 12. Next up for the Cleveland Cavaliers, Monday they will play the Minnesota Timberwolves, and then Wednesday the Toronto Raptors, and that's all she wrote for this week because then they head into the All-Star break and they will not play again until I believe the 22nd. Might be the 20th. It was either 220 or 222. But They will be on the All-Star break after the Raptors game, so they'll get some much needed rest. Well, most of them. Donovan Mitchell, Evan Mobley, and Darius Garland, of course, will be participating in the All-Star festivities along with Kenny Atkinson. But hopefully, after the All-Star break, we will have a better idea on when we can expect to see Dean Wade and Isaac Okoro back. Dean Wade is set to be reevaluated during the All-Star break. Shout out to Angela in the chat. She is co-host of Tornado Takeover with her wonderful husband Fred, where they cover Oklahoma sports. So check them out. But yeah, so the Cavs aren't looking too shabby heading into the All-Star break. Hopefully they can get a couple more wins in there before they head to the break. And we'll hopefully very soon get to see how DeAndre Hunter fits in with this crew. Oh, before I leave the Cavs do, after the trade, have 2 open roster spots. So I would expect to see them make some moves in the buyout market. We will see how that plays out. Some rumors I've been hearing are Cam Johnson and Ben Simmons, but right before I went live, I saw breaking news that Ben Simmons is going to be signing with the LA Clippers, so he is off the table. So we'll keep an eye on that and of course bring it to you once we know more, but I would expect that the Cavs will sign 1 or 2 more guys here in the near future to fill out the rest of the roster there. The Cleveland Charge, they only had a couple of games this week, and it was not a good week for them. They lost both of them, and Jacob Gilliard accepted a buyout, and he will be joining Chemnitz. I don't know if I'm saying that right because I don't speak German, but Chemnitz 99 in Germany. So good luck to Jacob on his new endeavors over in Germany. Monday, the Charge played Rio Grande Valley Vipers and lost 124 to 114. Elijah Hughes led the team with 30 points, and Farron Hunt had a double-double with 29 points and 16 rebounds. Not too shabby. Friday, last night, the Charge took on the Westchester Knicks and fell just short, losing 136 to 133. But man, Naquan Tomlin put on a show. He had 37 points and a double-double with 11 rebounds. And Farron Hunt again had a double-double with 24 points and 14 rebounds. So, like I was just mentioning about the Cavs having a couple of open roster spots, perhaps they look to the Charge to fill at least one of those. We shall see. We will definitely keep an eye on that. Next up for the Charge prior to the All-Star break, tonight they will again face the Westchester Knicks. And then Wednesday and Thursday, they will be playing the Raptors at 9:05. And then they too will be heading in to the All-Star break. Sadly, the Charge have no players participating in the All-Star festivities. I don't know how though, because I voted for them all the time like crazy. But apparently, just me voting wasn't enough. Must not have been others voting for them. Just one last note before I go to break. Ohio State women's basketball's Cody McMahon was named Burger King Player of the Week for college basketball or women's college basketball. So congratulations to Cody McMahon. I am going to take a short break, and when I come back, we will talk just a little bit of baseball, and then we'll get into some hockey. So stay right here with the Show of the Land with Jenn B on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports, and I'll be right back after this.
Hey, yo, what's good, Georgia? It's your boy ACS, and if you love sports from the Peach State as much as I do, then Georgia Sports Central is your one-stop destination for down south sports, courtesy of IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Are you a yellow jacket at heart, or do you bleed the red and black of the Bulldogs? Do you keep it true to Atlanta with Trae Young, Capella, and the boys? Do you rise up with the Dirty Birds on Sundays? Are you excited to see what the future holds for Michael Penix Jr., Bijan, and the rest of the Falcon squad? Do you live at 755 Battery Avenue? Do you rep for Albies, Acuna, and the rest of Braves country? If so, then let's get united every Wednesday for some Braves, Hawks, UGA, Georgia Tech, Atlanta Dream, Falcons, and more on Georgia Sports Central, only on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
Are you a fan of Minnesota sports? Do you love the Vikings and hate the Packers? Are you a fan of the Timberwolves, Twins, Wild, Lynx, St. Paul Saints? Here on the Bold North Breakdown, we'll talk about all of those professional teams as well as all the college teams in the area. That's your basketball teams, football, hockey, volleyball, men's and women's sports alike. We talk about them all. Here on the Bold North Breakdown. Join me, your host, Glenn Ritter, every Thursday night at 7 p.m. Central to discuss all that is happening in the Minnesota sports scene here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
Welcome back to the Show of the Land with a Jenn B on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Be sure to check out our other shows, Georgia Sports Central with ACS for all of your Georgia sports needs, and the Bold North Breakdown with Glenn Ritter for your Minnesota sports needs. So, just a little bit of news about the Columbus Clippers. Their 2025 schedule was released, and their opener will be on March 28th against Toledo. And their home opener will be April 1st. And no, it's not a joke. No fools here. For real. Their home opener will be on April 1st against St. Paul. So, baseball season is a-coming, y'all. Now, let's get into some hockey. Blue Jackets. Before we get into the games, got some injury updates. Ugh, the list just keeps getting longer and longer and longer. Kirill Marchenko has a broken jaw after he was hit in the face by a rogue puck while sitting on the bench in Sunday's game versus the Dallas Stars. He has been placed on IR after having surgery Monday morning and will be out indefinitely. Dante Fabro was also injured during the game against the Stars, and per Dean Evison, he will miss some time. No set timeline on him, so we'll keep an eye on that. Boone Jenner is due back after the Four Nations break, which is coming up. We'll get to that here shortly. And Sean Monahan and Eric Goodbranson are both due back mid to late March. Yikes. That's a lot of guys out. But hopefully the other guys can step up like they have been all season and keep things rolling. Sunday, the Blue Jackets played the Dallas Stars and unfortunately fell short, losing 5-3. Cole Sillinger, Dmitry Voronkov, and Ivan Provorov scored the goals. Sillinger's goal was his 100th career point, so congratulations to Cole for that. Tuesday, the Blue Jackets played the Buffalo Sabres. Dante Fabro and Zach Wierenski were both out. Zach also sustained an injury during the Stars game. He did come back, but out of precaution, they did hold him out in the game on Tuesday. Like I said, they lost 3-2. Kent Johnson and Ivan Provorov scored the 2 goals, and Kent Johnson's was gorgeous. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. It's all over the place. It's on Blue Jackets X page. It's on YouTube. It was a beaut. And I also believe it was in the Sports Center top 10 plays of the week. Thursday, the Blue Jackets took on the Utah Hockey Club. And unfortunately, they lost 3-2, but it was in overtime, so they did get a point. Justin Danforth scored a goal, and Ivan Provorov scored a shorthanded goal, and it was his first career shorthanded goal. So that's pretty awesome. And he has scored goals in the last 3 games. So that's pretty cool, especially with Dante Fabro being out. We need some of these defensemen to step up. So good to see Ivan doing just that. Next up for the Blue Jackets, tonight they will be playing the New York Rangers, and then they will be on break for the Four Nations face-off. And they won't play again for a little while. And hopefully just please, hopefully we'll have some guys back. I did see a tweet earlier today that Yegor Chinnikov did skate today a little bit with the guys in their morning skate. So hopefully after the Four Nations break, we'll be getting Boone Jenner, Dante Fabro, and Yegor Chinnikov back. Fingers crossed, because it's getting rough out there, y'all, with all these injuries. It's getting rough. Next up, we've got the Cleveland Monsters. They only played 1 game this week because they were on their All-Star break. Friday, last night, they took on Lehigh Valley Phantoms and fell just short, losing 3-2 in a shootout. So, like the Blue Jackets, they also got a point, but sadly fell short. Roman Akan scored both goals. Next up for the Monsters, tonight they will take on Wilkes-Barre Scranton Penguins. Tuesday, the Rochester Americans, and then Saturday, the Chicago Wolves. So hopefully they can get a couple more wins under their belt. Because you know what? These injuries in Columbus are hurting the Monsters too. Because when guys go down for the Blue Jackets, guys get called up from the Monsters. So it is what it is, sadly. But hopefully they can get back to winning in a couple of these games they've got coming up. Just one little note about Ohio State men's hockey. They have moved up from number 11 to number 9. So they are climbing the rankings. So congratulations to the Ohio State Buckeyes men's hockey team. That is pretty cool. But that is all the hockey I have for you. I am going to take another short break, and when I come back, we will get into some volleyball. Ugh, the Browns. I don't want to talk about it, but we're going to talk about it. Little bit of Ohio State news, some crew news, and what's going on with the Cleveland Crunch. So stay right here with me, Jenn B, on the Show of the Land on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. And I will be right back after this.
What's up, New York? This is Ricky K coming at you with the NY State of Sports, a new show here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Listen to me every Thursday afternoon as we bring you the latest takes on the Yankees, Mets, Jets, Giants, Knicks, Nets, Rangers, Devils, and Islanders. Plus, you get some college hoops and what's the local sports events going on in the area. It's a state that never sleeps, so why not get the opinions and sports takes that never sleep? Again, every Thursday, 2 p.m. to the NY State of Sports. We'll see you then.
Hey sports fans, are you in the market for Florida sports or just keeping up with the latest in the Panhandle? Palm Tree Sports is a dedicated audio hub to all things sports in the Sunshine State. We cover current events, big news, heavily favored opinions all across the NFL, NBA, MLB, and so much more. So come check us out every Saturday evening at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for a down south education on Florida sports and athletics. It's hosted by yours truly, Corey Pujols, and is powered by IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports.
Welcome back to the Show of the Land with Jenn B on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Let's talk about the Columbus Fury. They got their first win. Oh. But first, they lost. Last Sunday, they played Indy Ignite and were swept. They lost 0-3. Set 1, 20-25. Set 2, 20-25. And set 3, 17-25. But last night against Grand Rapids Rise, they won 3-2. They lost set 1, 21-25. And then they won set 2, 25-21. Megan Courtney Lush played her 100th set, making her the first player in franchise history to play 100 sets. So congratulations to Megan Courtney Lush. The Fury then won set 3, 26-24, coming back to get the win. They were down 23-19, I believe. And they came back and got the win. Pretty cool. Set 4, they lost 22-25, but they won set 5, 15-8, giving them their first win of the season. They are now 1-7, I believe. Yikes. Next up for the Columbus Fury, Wednesday, they will take on the Orlando Valkyries. And maybe, just maybe, they could get win number 2. Now, for the news nobody wants to talk about. So, this past week, Myles Garrett officially requested to be traded from the Cleveland Browns. The Browns still say they have no intention of trading Myles Garrett. However, Myles Garrett took the opportunity of the Super Bowl coming up to go on a media tour on Radio Row and talk to anybody who would listen about how he doesn't think the Browns are anywhere near close, and this isn't what he had envisioned for his career. His goal was to never go from Cleveland to Canton, it was to win a Super Bowl. So he wants to be traded to a contender. Well, Myles, easier said than done. The Browns would be in cap hell if they were to trade Myles Garrett. The dead cap hit is astounding. And in order to get for him what the Browns would want to get for him, trading him to an actual true contender, not likely to happen. Because you're not going to trade a number 1 overall pick for pick 32 in the draft. So there's that. And then there's the money issue. And there's the fact that he's under contract for 2 more years. So this could get ugly. David Njoku spoke also on Radio Row and said to Myles, stay home. We're not that far away. All we need is a healthy, good quarterback. And he also said that he hopes he can talk Myles Garrett into changing his mind. So we'll see what happens. I don't expect it. I expect it to get uglier before it gets better, in all honesty. But, here we are. Here we are. We finally get out of the Deshaun Watson debacle, and now we have a Myles Garrett debacle. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen, but we shall see. He is due a roster bonus on March 15th. So if the Browns intend to move him, it will most likely be before that. I don't believe the Browns have any intention of moving him unless they find an option that would get them another top 10 pick in this year's draft. But we'll see. We will see what happens. I don't know. I have heard a couple of people, including my husband, say that they expect that the Browns will have a conversation with Myles Garrett and tell him, you know what, give us a chance. Wait until we get through free agency and the draft and start the season out. And if by the trade deadline you're still not happy, then we can talk. So we'll see. Like I said, we'll see what happens. But, that was a gut punch. Monday morning news, gut punch. Working on Monday was not fun after that news. And of course, there was more bad news, which we'll get to here shortly. In the Cleveland sports world, well, Cleveland and Columbus sports world. But in some other news, the Browns did hire Christian Jones as their new tight end coach. He was formerly with the New York Giants. That is enough, Browns, because they're just depressing right now. Now we've got some Ohio State news, just a little bit. Ohio State. Chip Kelly was hired by the Vegas Raiders as their offensive coordinator, leaving Ohio State's offensive coordinator position open. And Brian Hartline has been promoted to offensive coordinator. We will see how that goes. Did not go all that great a couple of years ago when he was promoted to offensive coordinator. So hopefully he's learned a thing or two since then, and things will be better on that front. But lots of changes happen. Lots of changes happening at Ohio State. Oh, and I don't know how I forgot to put this in my notes, but also this week, the Ohio State Buckeyes extended Ryan Day through 2031. So, much to my dismay, Ryan Day is not going anywhere. Now for more sad news on the sports front. The Crew finalized a deal to send Cucho Hernandez to La Liga's Real Betis, and they traded Christian Ramirez to the LA Galaxy for general allocation money and $250,000 in guaranteed money. So sadly, we will not be seeing Cucho or Christian on the pitch this season. I don't like it. I mean, I'm happy for Cucho. Congratulations to him. He's getting a shot in a Premier League, but it hurts. It hurts. But you know what? Diego Rossi is just going to have to step up even more than he already has. And it's just a bad week for sports news in this area outside of the Cavs. Now for the Cleveland Crunch, they have not played since my last show. They will play tonight against the Canadian Crusaders, who handed them their first loss in like 2.5 years or something crazy like that last Saturday. And then they will play them again next Saturday. So hopefully they could get 2 more wins. They're going to be hungry for a win after taking their first loss in forever last week. So I expect they will win tonight. We'll see what happens next Saturday. But yeah, that's all she wrote, y'all. That is it. So thank you all for joining me on the Show of the Land on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. I will be back to my normal time, Sunday mornings at 11 a.m. Eastern Time next week, and we will get back into the sports, the Cavs, the Charge, the Blue Jacket, the Monsters, the Crunch, and any other news that happens to pop up in the Cleveland and Columbus sports arena. Maybe we'll have more news about Myles Garrett and what's going on there. Maybe we won't. Maybe the Cavs will make some signings to fill those 2 empty roster spots. We shall see. We shall see for sure. We will watch our guys in the All-Star games on next Sunday. But have a great rest of your Saturday, and tomorrow be sure to check out the 3 and Out grand finale with an entire day's worth of shows talking Super Bowl and more. You don't want to miss it. Starts at 10 a.m. Eastern Time tomorrow and runs through 5:30 Eastern Time, and then there will also be a post-game grand finale as well. So check that out. And once again, thank you all for joining me, Jenn B, on the Show of the Land right here on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports. Have a great day.